I feel called to work with junior high and high school students who don't get the exposure to the gospel like typical families that go to church do. A lot of the students that I work with come from low-income families, non-traditional families. They don't have a church that they go to, or they were hurt by the church at one point or another. They're the kids that are in detention constantly and are just a huge problem, and their parents have given up on them, or they don't have money to support them. So I grew up with a good family, but you know, like most families, everybody has rocky times, things that don't always go right. And I didn't have that personal relationship with Jesus. I knew about Jesus, but I didn't know him as my friend or my father. So when I went to college, I went seeking out truth and answers for those things that my family had gone through. And that's when I met Mikey at the Wesley Foundation, and they really just took me in and took care of me and loved me, and they, you know, taught me how to have a personal relationship with Jesus. When I was graduating from college, I had planned to go into education and be a teacher, but my last semester I just didn't have peace about that. It didn't feel right, even though that's what I had worked my whole life towards. And Mikey and Tracy at the Wesley said, well, why don't you consider this job in Lamesa? I didn't know how to be a youth director. I had never been in a youth group. I didn't grow up in church. So I had no idea what even the concept of that was. And every day, you know, I'd wake up and say, God, you got to do this for me, because I have no idea what I am doing. And he did. He slowly taught me how to do this and how I needed to reach these kids. We have this building, Reality, and it is a really safe environment for kids because they don't feel pressured to act a certain way or dress a certain way. They can come in no matter what state they're in and not be judged for their family, where they grew up, or how much money they make. And they can come and learn about Jesus in a positive environment that's encouraging. I think that anytime God calls you to something, you're going to experience barriers, just because he wants to challenge you, he wants to grow you in your faith. We just have to trust God with wherever he's called us to go. And even if that's something as small as scrubbing toilets or as big as leaving the country, we have to trust him to know what is going to satisfy us and what's going to make us happy, because he made us and he created us and he knows our hearts better than we do.